You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
From the prime time, bitch!
Nothing like a strangulation to get the circulation going.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
This house is clean.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
You're all doomed. I am pain.
What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here. I want to welcome you guys to another edition of Eddie Monster's Movie Reviews. It's me, Eddie Monster. Remember, please subscribe to the channel. Every subscription is greatly appreciated. And if you noticed right in the corner here, I always got to remember with cameras where to point for some reason. But anyways, if you see in the corner, it's a barcode. You can scan it at any time. I'm trying to raise money for a movie theater to bring it back so that I can start a horror fest in my hometown of Attleboro, Mass. So if you would like to, please at least give it a scan. Check it out for yourselves. Any donation, doesn't matter how small, any donation is greatly appreciated. So, the movie I decided to review was sort of one of those things. I was looking for something, right? And I was trying to figure out, trying to rack my brain. What do I want to watch, right? And it was like one of those pizza, and pizza and Mountain Dew kind of night. And I landed upon One Hell of a Summer. I remember it because of a couple of things. As you all know, the people who wrote it and directed it is pretty interesting if you ask me. One Hell of a Summer, as you can see, was directed by Finn Wolfhard and Billy Bryk. Now, I believe that's how I'm saying his name. These two have worked in movies, in a previous movie before, but for those of you, you all know Finn Wolfhard. Come on, Stranger Things, that's right. So I was surprised, considering how young he was. I'm like, wow. I'm like, he wrote and directed a film. I had to watch it. And if you look at the trailer, it's one of those classic 1980s feel, camp counselors, very Friday the 13th, very The Burning, those kind of films. So I was very interested in checking that out for sure. So to go over the film, it stars Fred Hechinger. Hechinger, I believe is how you say his name. You may remember him from Kraven the Hunter. That's one of his latest films that he was in. But he plays a 24-year-old kid named Jason, who is working at this summer camp yet again, despite the disbelief of his, what I'm assuming is either his mom or his grandmother, who can't seem to understand why he's still working there. But hey, he's thinking it's a career move. You never know. The owners of the place are trusting me with this. He's very kind of delusional and full of these dreams of grandeur and all sorts of things, kind of in the wrong direction. Everybody's kind of based in reality, and he's sort of based in this fantasy kind of a thing. And you're going to know that because as soon as the crew starts to roll in, the crew being DeFaro Wunatai, who I may remember from Reservation Dogs. He plays Mike. You got Abby Quinn, who plays Claire. Krista Nazaire, who plays Shannon. Then we got Daniel Gravelle from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Ooh, he plays Ari, who's kind of funny because he's this wannabe filmmaker of sorts that comes into this film. We've got Matthew Finlan, who plays Ezra. Julia Doyle plays Miley. Pardis Serini, who plays Demi. And then obviously Finn and Billy play Bobby. And I can't remember Finn's name for right now. It escapes me the name of his character in this film. But nonetheless, they're all these camp counselors who are just like, it's another summer. They're all young. This is a joke. Whatever it may be. We're just here to hook up. Well, Bobby, who's a character that I kind of liked because he's this guy who's he's kind of a BS artist, so to speak. He's always like trying to pump himself up, hoping that some chick is just going to decide, yeah, you're the one, you know. Meanwhile, everybody else is kind of like, yeah, whatever, you're full of shit, and things of that nature. But I liked him. He was one of my favorite characters. You know, the guy who always talks tough, but always looks for something to be his way out of whatever disaster he's about to be a part of. Yeah, that's Billy Bryk's character. Funniest, one of my favorite characters of the whole film. I also loved, believe it or not, I liked Fred's character too of Jason. It's almost this progression of innocence lost. As the film goes on, he's optimistic for like a huge portion of the film, right? This is what I've been meant to do. This is what I've always been meant to do, you know, And he's going along, and people like me. Why don't they like me? Until he figures out, okay, because there's a killer on the loose, and he soon figures out that maybe he's not in the grand favor of everybody, because they soon accuse him of being, you guessed it, that's right, being the killer. And, you know, I'm going to try not to spoil anything for anybody in this. I'll try not to. But if I do, spoiler alert, you've been warned. So the movie, as you can see, put it right back up, is one of those where it's a really good who's done it kind of film in the beginning, for the most part, until they reveal, with so much time left in the film, they actually reveal who the killer is, or killers. I won't tell you. And I thought that was kind of strange at first. I'm like, wait a minute, we're already getting to know who the killers are. I kind of like this kind of who done it kind of thing. But then it gets smart, because it could have been that, right? It could have been a who done it, and we figure it out at the end, and oh my God, you know, that Scooby-Doo moment, you know, where it's like, oh, it was you all along, but why? You know what I mean? We still sort of get the but why part, but what I liked about this one is that even though they revealed it, the killers are kind of paying attention to the rest of the crew when they say, Jason's the killer. What are you guys doing in here? We thought you were dead. And they were like, Jason's the killer? Yeah, Jason's the killer, all right. There's a lavish plan. You watch it, you'll get it. I'll try not to spoil that for you guys. You know what I mean? I'm that nice of a guy. I try not to. But I liked it. There's it's an interesting movie, to say the least. I love the element of comedy with the horror that's in it, because I think the best thing about horror comedies is if both sort of balance each other out. I don't think this is a very scary movie to begin with. There's not, I mean, if there's any jump scares, they're not anything. You know, nothing to, you know, to be like, oh my God, that was friggin' amazing. And at the same time, but the comedy was really like on point in this film. And as I said, Billy Bryk is the guy. He's my MVP of this film, because he has this moment, one of the funniest scenes. He's sitting there and he's talking to Jason. He's like, listen, just tell him, you know, I died, you know, a brave death, and yada, yada, yada. And Jason's like, dude, you're not dying. Oh, no, well, just tell him you know, a lot of funny scenes. You'll have to watch it for yourself. Just trust me on that one. He's great. There's another scene of his where he gets dared to do something. Everybody's like, Bobby, trying to cheer him on. And then somebody goes, come on, pussy. Right? And instantly that's his way out. He's like, oh, what the fuck? you know, you guys just ruined it for me. Like, now I'm not going to do it because you know what? I'm not going to take this disrespect. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So, to me, it's a fun film. I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's a popcorn movie. What more do you want? Or a pizza and a Mountain Dew kind of movie. You know what? You just get a deal with one of those big chain, you know, those big chain pizzas that are awful. They're like, it's like eating cardboard with cheese and toppings on it. But you know what? It's cheap. You know what I mean? If you order 2 things and you just have fun with the Mountain Dew. Give yourself a bunch of caffeine. Knock yourself out. Watch the film. Enjoy it. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to give this film, honestly, I'm going to give it a B+. I don't know why it took 2 years for it to come out, because apparently if you look on IMDb, it's listed as 2023. I don't really know the whole story. I didn't really look into the story as to why it took so long. Sometimes it's just what happens. Movies take a while to come out sometimes. But yeah, I think this is definitely worth a watch. It's $5.99 on you can't call it Vudu anymore, because it used to be the Vudu app, the VUDU. It's like Fandango at home. That's how I ordered it. And $5.99, dude, I've wasted that on worse shit in my life, believe me. So this is a lot of fun. B+ for a final grade. As always, remember, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Any subscription we get, or subscriber, I should say, is greatly, greatly appreciated. Again, if you could, check out this QR code. We're trying to bring back a movie theater, get it up and running. It's in a really bad shape. We've gotten as many grants as we possibly could, but now we need your help to help us so we can start one of the most kick-ass horror fests of all time. That's what I'm aiming to do. That's what I'm trying to do. We'll see you guys soon right here on this YouTube channel. See ya.